Do weekends feel especially empty and painful now that your pet is gone? Maybe during the week you can keep going. You stay busy, you get through the day. Maybe the weather is now getting better, and you're feeling pressure to be out and about and quotes happy. No, that is not what you need to do. Because then the weekend comes and everything slows down. Your place feels quieter. There is more empty space, more time to think, and the grief comes forward, and you feel stuck and ashamed. In my own experience, weekends were much harder after I lost my Scotty. It really took me by surprise. And if that is happening to you too, please know you are not alone and there is nothing wrong with you. And you don't have to be, quotes, happy at this time. And there are ways to make sense of what you are experiencing. Hi there, my name is Joanne Berg. I'm a therapist with over 20 years of experience and a certified grief educator. On this channel, we talk about pet loss grief openly and without judgment. This is really a safe space where your grief is understood. So today I'm going to talk about why weekends may feel so empty after pet loss. 2, what you may really be grieving. 3, some client experiences. 4, what research helps us to understand. And 5, what can help. There is light at the end of this tunnel. So why can weekends feel so empty after pet loss? I think most of us, when we step back, can name it. Because weekends are shared time with your pet, who is now gone. So when your pet dies, weekends can become a sharp reminder of what is missing. During the week, structure can sometimes hold you together. But on weekends, there is often less distraction and more room for grief to come forward. So what are you actually grieving? Sometimes what hurts most is not only that your pet is gone, it is the loss of life that you had together. You may be grieving the morning routine, connecting with others who also had pets when you were out walking, the sound of paws in the house, feeding them, planning your day around them, being worried that you won't get home in time to take them out, being greeted, quiet companionship, the comfort of the evening routine. Sometimes people say to me, I don't even know what to do with myself. That makes sense. Without your pet, the day can feel unfamiliar. Now, here are some client experiences. These are examples from clients who wanted to share with you. One client told me, Saturday used to be our long walk day. Now I just stay inside. He reached out because he had begun withdrawing more and more on the weekends. He felt ashamed that it was still this hard. What really helped him was being in counseling and being in a safe space to have his feelings witnessed without judgment. That's really all that it took. What also helped was understanding that he was grieving not only his pet, but also structure, companionship, and purpose. He began to understand that this was truly a normal part of the grieving process. And boy, is it hard. And there's no shame in it being hard. This took 2 sessions. He sometimes checks in with me. Another person shared, it is the little things. No leash, no bowls, no one waiting at the door. She reached out because the loneliness of the weekend was starting to spill into the rest of her week. She felt more isolated, she stopped making plans, and she worried other people would not understand her grief. What helped was enabling her to put her anxieties into words and to talk about this in a non-judgmental environment. I think that's really the key. No judgment. She began to accept that others may not understand. It didn't mean that there was something wrong with her. In fact, it has been found that most of the time, people are just uncomfortable around any kind of grief and may be at a loss on what to say, and they may say something that they really didn't mean to say. She was then able to honor her pet with a memorial that brought back some of the little things. For example, she used the leash and the collar. It then gave her comfort, not anxiety. One client told me, "I lost my spouse a year before my cat died. I now see that my pet distracted me from dealing with that grief as well." She reached out because weekends had become especially hard. On weekends, everything slowed down for her. There was more silence, less structure, and more time alone with her thoughts. And without her pet there, she no longer had the comfort and distraction that had helped her cope with the loss of her spouse. She told me this was beginning to affect her work and friendships as well. She was having trouble concentrating and felt ashamed to admit how overwhelmed she was. She approached me after seeing one of my videos. What helped was recognizing that this was layered grief. She was not only grieving her pet, she was also facing the grief that her pet had helped her hold at bay. So what does research help us to understand? While there is no research specifically on weekends or evenings, bereavement research does show that grief can affect coping, well-being, loneliness, and everyday functioning. That explains why grief of any kind, for that matter, may feel heavier when there is less structure and more unoccupied time. Research also shows that grief can be messy, layered, and anything but linear, as we all have experienced when losing our pet. So if weekends feel especially hard, that does not mean you are grieving the wrong way. It may simply mean that quieter times makes the absence more visible. So what can help on the weekends? It is natural to feel pressure to have a quotes perfect weekend, whatever that is. But try to be compassionate with yourself. A few things may help. Name the trigger. Instead of saying, "Why am I like this every weekend?" what about looking at this in a different way? These were our times. Of course this is hard, but only if it feels right for you. Keep one comforting ritual. You might light a candle, if that's for you, or take a quiet walk where you used to have good memories of your pet. Sit with a photo or write a few words to your pet. You may want to add some structure, not pressure, just small structure. One small plan for the evening, one small plan for the morning, one small plan for the afternoon. Sometimes watching or streaming a light-hearted film is enough. Give yourself permission to do that. Or try one small act of self-care. It's really important to look after yourself during this time. You may want to try making yourself a healthy meal or ordering one in. That's okay too. And it's okay to be alone sometimes. Name the sadness. Are you missing the walk, the companionship, the responsibility, the sense of being needed, the quiet presence at the end of the day, or all of the above? Now, weekends can be isolating. If there is one friend or colleague who you know will understand, try to talk to them. You may not feel that way, and that's okay. Remember that these are general suggestions. Grief is individual, and counseling focuses on the many ways that can be tailored to what feels comfortable for you in particular. In closing, weekends without your beloved pet can feel long, quiet, and lonely, but there is nothing wrong with you for feeling that way. This is grief, and grief often shows up where love once lived most naturally. I would welcome the opportunity to hear your experience. Do weekends feel especially empty for you after the loss of your pet? Let's talk. I can help you sort this out. You can reach me directly through my website, petlossandbereavement.com, or my email, joannebergen1@gmail.com. I am pleased that you are here watching this video. Please subscribe and comment below, or you may wish to share. Take care and see you next time.